Hello everybody, this is Rachel here with our card class this month for, what are we in? March. We're going to sell the kits. I'm going to make this video, you can follow along. Since we're kind of advised to not be in large groups, we thought this would be a good solution for that. So this is the card kit we're going to do One Fine Day from My Mind's Eye. Whether you follow along or not, there are written instructions here as always, so that's always an option. But I'm going to go ahead and put together a kit for you so you can see how I did it. So we'll go ahead and get started. This will be the first one we're going to do. Happy Everything. So these are the pieces. Everything's pre-stamped and die cut if possible. So we'll go ahead and get started with the coloring of these flowers and the leaves and the words. So I used a watercolor brush and Distress Oxide inks to color. I just put them on this is actually a dry erase board. I just put them on that. We have Twisted Citron and Peacock Feathers. So I'm just gonna use this and go ahead and color really however you want, but I just went in and kind of did every other. Doesn't take a lot, doesn't have to be perfect. This is not watercolor paper, so it wouldn't take a lot of water, but just enough. I'm sure you could use, if you don't have the oxides, you could use the regular Distress inks. They're not as bright, I don't think. They'd be watered down a little bit, but they absolutely would work. Or any other ink pad that you have that you feel matches the paper line. Colored pencils also would work here. Markers, let's see, looks like I colored the center. For the word happy, I just went every other. And I am not using a whole lot of water. I have not even really squeezed. I mean, I got it started there on the paper, but I'm not squeezing it out. And if you hear movement, I do have a couple kids here with me today that are dying, probably to make fun of me in my video. And then I have this little butterfly here. We're gonna have to fussy cut him when we're done, but I'm just gonna do like his little bottom here in blue. And then with the water brush, just clean it out like that when you're ready to go to the next color. So now I'm ready for the green. I am trying to avoid the black because the color will go over a little bit, but it's not a big deal. So it looks like I did that. And here, I did all that. And we have the leaves. Okay, coloring's done. I'm gonna fussy cut that little, I'm not even sure if I'm in the camera or not. Okay, so, trash. All right, now we're ready to put it together. So, we'll start by putting the black cardstock down. Leave that so they can see it, buddy. Make sure your card's open in the right way.
That's what you can make it?
Alright. Okay. And then down with that. I'm just going to leave a black border all the way around. we have a piece of vellum here and the frame, which this was the paper from your pad, but I went ahead with a little stamp and just added some green to it to try to pull all those colors together. So it doesn't come like that, it's just black and white paper. But we're gonna go ahead and glue the vellum to the back of the frame. Sticking to me. All right. And then we're gonna add some foam. So I have this big roll. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stick that down like that. Now, you could absolutely turn this into a shaker card if you wanted to at this point, even with the vellum instead of the acetate that you would normally use, but we're just gonna use it to soften that pattern in the back. So, making sure that's opening the right way. One more time. Center that down. And now we're just gonna layer up the flowers and the greenery. Those are all glued straight on. Get some wet glue here. Happy wet glue so you can still move it if you want. Okay. And we have this everything, which this is a piece of paper that I covered with Twisted Citron first, so it would match. And I'm just gonna cut a fishtail on the end of that. And that is lined up right with the edge. Actually, I think I may have it on the card, goes all the way to the blue, but whichever one is fine. Looks fine either way. And then we're gonna put the other flower there. And we're gonna pop up our little ladybug on some foam. Square here. And that is it for the first card. Now, if you're into some details, I do have a glitter pen I was using and glossy accents. So on this particular card here, I don't know if you can tell with the light, I put glossy accents over the word happy. I also used this is the Lawn Fawn glitter pen. And so I'm gonna go over the happy first. And it looks like I may have done this as well. And then we'll take a little glossy accents and go over the happy. And get it started over here where I'm not gonna get it on everything else. Just a line. All right, easy as that. And that card is done. We're gonna set that aside to dry. All right, now we're on to the second card, Sending Birthday Wishes. Here is the kit. And so we're gonna go ahead and start off by coloring our butterfly. And I use Chip Sapphire, yes, Chip Sapphire, Twisted Citron, and a little bit of Evergreen Bough. And so we're gonna start with the Evergreen Bough and kind of just do a circle in the center. And we're also gonna do that on this guy here. All right. And then we'll move to this. We're gonna do the Twisted Citron on the edges. Okay. white. And then that stays with that, that stays with that. And then we've got the chip sapphire. So we're gonna put this in really concentrated color here. You may need to go over it a couple times because the paper really soaks it in. Now you could certainly use, I'm using the Oxide inks, but you could definitely use the just the regular Distress inks. The colors maybe aren't so vibrant. They blend together differently, but really the colors are the same. So, and then what I'm going to do here is over the body, I'm going to go ahead and put the blue, and then we're going to go back with the Evergreen Bough, kind of where that all meets, right in here. All right, so it's going to look like that. So we will set those off to the side. And kind of set him aside to dry. And we'll go ahead and put our card together. So making sure it's opening the way we want it to open. We're going to start with putting these green pieces on. So there should be a very small white border all the way around, and it's going to be pretty small, but it's there. So we're going to put one on each side, but now we're going to leave that little blue border there. So what I like to do is lay that out, put a strip of glue, and then just got about 1/8 of an inch there, maybe a little bit more showing, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so there's that, and we're going to stick that in the center. Okay, now before we put anything else, I don't know if you can tell on my card, the center of these flowers have glitter in the centers. So any kind of glitter. I may have used Prisma here, but today I grabbed the Distress Clear Rock Candy. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to pour it over. And I'm going to use my Quickie glue pen. You could absolutely use this as well. This is going to dry really fast for you. But I am just going to come in and color the centers and pour some glitter over. Shake it off. All right, that's good. Put lid on that. And we're going to go ahead and put our butterfly together. He should be dry. So I'm just going to put a little glue in the center. That's the only place I glued, so that his or her little wings can kind of come up and give dimension. So I am going to put some foam on the back of, this circle. We're gonna put this right here. All right, and then the butterfly, and then, like I said, something happened and it didn't record. I've actually already made this card and I used the sentiment. So you would take the sentiment, it's on foam, it's just centered there. And then the butterfly, you know, I show you the two options. You can have him straight on, you can have him flying off the card. I'm gonna go ahead and put him straight on. Okay. And then your sentiment across the bottom, and that, and a butterfly body, which I also did not, I already used. So you're going to put that butterfly body right on top, and then your card's finished. All right, it's time for card number 3. Thanks. So here's your kit. I'm going to open that up. here's all your pieces. So these two pieces here were cut out of white, and we're gonna go ahead and color them. I'm going to use Chipped Sapphire and a sponge dauber. So I'm gonna kind of dab it on. These can be somewhat fragile. We don't want to rip our die cut. All right, so those are both done. And then you're gonna take your card base, just cut out of white, and if you notice, the outside is blue, which we could not find a blue cardstock that matched well enough, so I'm just gonna do the same thing around the edge. So good saturated color. You really only need, I mean, it's just 1/8 of an inch border. Right, I'm gonna set that aside to dry while we get everything else ready. So, let's see here. I have this scallop shape here that's gonna go right behind that pink piece. And so what I'm gonna do is just take some, just get a line of glue there and kind of line up where I want it, try to center it. Okay. And then I'll take some scissors and just trim that off. Oops. All right, and that can just go at the bottom of that piece. It is going to go right there. And I did not cut that straight, so there we go. Okay, now that piece is going to go right there. All right, so we're going to put that on the center.
Thanks.
Matches beautifully. Okay, so before I do anything else, I did that same thing that we did on the last card with the glitter. I put it in the centers of those flowers as well as on that leaf, which I think I'll do after I glue the leaf down. But we'll go ahead with the Quickie glue pen, color in those circles. Well, that one's gonna be covered anyway. Okay. Down my paper. And sprinkle the glitter on. And we have glitter. Red and so for this tag here, let's go ahead and tie our ribbon on. So here's my trick for the ribbon. We're just going to put the ribbon through. We're going to fold it in half. And then we are going to take this piece of crochet thread and tie it around. Like that.
That's cool.
Tie a little bow.
Tie instead of a bow.
And there we are. And then we can trim off any excess when we're ready. But I'm gonna go ahead and put some foam on the back of my tag. One more. All right, so we're gonna put this down here. And then obviously you could pull it down further if you didn't want to have to cut off as much as that, but I'm going to go ahead and trim some of that off. And then we have the greenery. So you can see I kind of trimmed some of that off. So I'm going to go ahead and, I probably should have done that before I put it on there, but I'm going to go ahead and just trim a line, and that's where it's going to land. So put some glue back of this. All right.
Then you're gonna put it on and then cut it off.
There we go. And then we have the word thanks. Do the same thing.
Like
All right.
this.
Put the word thanks on there. Let's go ahead and add the glitter. So those leaves, this is a graphic 45 die. It's the die that comes with this tag. It has like scored holes. They're not really, they're just scored. But I'm going to put glue in that. I put glitter on them. And that card is done. Go ahead and go on to You Make Me Happy. Open the kit. You have this little post-it note that has the sequins stuck on there. Set that off to the side. We don't need that till the end. And all of our bits. All right, so we are going to start by putting the pink cardstock down. Okay. Make sure your card's opening the way you want it to. And then we are going, it's going to layer up like this. We're going to have this, and then we have these blue pieces. Okay? So we can go ahead and put down the white. And that is just going to be centered on there. Okay. And then we're going to build up this. So you can see on my card it's thicker on the bottom, thinner on the top. They're both cut the same size. So you can leave it up to you if you want to just leave that hole and then tuck it. That's probably what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and, sometimes it's been a while since I've made these cards. I kind of forget how I did it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this, well, that's 1/8 of an inch. I've been seeing 1/8. There we go. From the bottom, then this piece is going to line up right with that. Right on top. And then before that glues down, I'm going to put some glue on that and tuck that in. There we go. So there's that piece. And that's going to go right on there, wherever you want. You want it up towards the top, towards the bottom. I have mine near the bottom. So go ahead and put that on. Okay. All right, now we have a piece of vellum here. So what we're going to try to do is hide the vellum. So my card, you can see I have used foam on the You Make Me Happy. I'm not gonna lie, that was not an easy feat. So if you want to just glue it straight down, which is what I'm going to do today, you absolutely can. The one thing we're gonna do is kind of stick that You Make Me in through the loop of the H. Now at this point, if you're happy with that, we can glue it down. If you want to use foam on the back, now would be the time to do that also. So for time's sake, I'm not going to, because there's a lot of little cutting that we need to do, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave it the way it was. So So I'm just gonna go ahead and put glue on the back of the die cut. And we're gonna put that right in the center of the vellum. So there we go. Okay. All right. And we did it this way so that we can hide our adhesive. So we're gonna flip this over and only put the adhesive in these spots where you're not gonna see it. Okay? And then that's gonna go centered in that geometric pattern paper. So we'll go ahead and press that down. Okay, looks like that. And then we're just, I used the Quickie glue pen again and glitter over the word happy. But what I did, this little glue pen is awesome. We can just follow along the lines. There we go. My paper again. And sprinkle the glitter on, and now we have a glittery happy. And the finishing touch would be these sequins. So I'm just gonna take them off the Post-it. And I'm gonna get out my jewel picker here and go ahead, let's see, and just scatter them. I know there's a heart here and a little, gotta use the bigger one. The heart's there and a little one there. Okay, and then there's, what I'm gonna do here is, because I'm gonna put right there. And we got a little one. Another little one. And then dot, dot, dot. Go. One more down here. And now we have beautifully scattered sequins. Thinking of you makes me smile. This one's gonna go together pretty quick as well. We'll go ahead and color our butterfly first. So evergreen bough and chipped sapphire again. So we're gonna use the evergreen bough in the center. And chipped sapphire on the outside. Glue it together like we did the last one, just glue in the center. And then I'm gonna put the body here. All right, I'm gonna set that aside. So the only difference when we cut the kit, because of the nature of the paper, the way I told you, the front and the back, we used this in the previous card, 2 cards ago. I must have cut that first before I cut that. So your flowers are gonna go to the side, but no, they're not upside down. It's gonna be just fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, well, I'll wait and do it after I put it down. Okay, but if you can see on those little dots on those tulips, I put glitter also. So it's kind of the finishing touch on that one. So we'll go ahead and put the paper down. Make sure your card's opening the right way. Go. Have mine facing out. Go. And then before I go ahead and stick the sentiment on, I'm going to go ahead and put the glitter on it. Okay, we are going to pop up the sentiment square, or I guess not a square, it's a rectangle. So, okay, so that is going to go right there. And my little butterfly. Top. And that's it for that card. Easy peasy. All right. Next, we have sending happy thoughts. All right, for this one, we should have a little ladybug we need to color. We're going to color him the same way that we colored in the first card with peacock feathers on this, or evergreen bough. We used peacock feathers in the first one. This one is evergreen bough. So it probably really wouldn't matter too much because it's just this little portion back here. And either color will match. And then we're going to do the same, the twisted citron on the body. And then I colored in the whole, instead of just the stripes, we just colored in the whole thing. So we will let that dry. Okay. We're going to put the black down. Card's opening the right way. So put your white down. You'll have just a small, small, small black border. And then we can start with the strips. All right, so there's our strips. We're gonna put our circle in the center. All right, sending happy thoughts. He's centered right in there. There he is. We're gonna have to fussy cut our little ladybug. In-person classes are way more fun. Hopefully we get to do that again very soon. All right, we use the Lawn Fine glitter pen. I am going to add glitter to my ladybug. And then I'm gonna glue on the bottom of our circle there. And then I finished this ladybug off with some glossy accents. That'll just take a little bit longer to dry, but it's gonna be super, super glossy. Okay, we have one more card, and that will be it for me. Birthday wishes. All right, we have our little flower center on Post-it. I'm going to stick that there so I don't lose it. This one's going to go together super fast as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put the pink paper down. And the white right in the center. Okay. And then I'm going to glue this strip right there. So I'm going to put line of glue. There we go. That's going to line up with the bottom. Okay. Birthday wishes is going to go up here. A little bit of that hangs off onto that mint. But I'm going to go ahead before I put it down and cover it with a glitter pen. You can use Wink of Stella here, or this is the Lawn Fawn glitter pen. It's got really nice glitter too. Just has a different tip on the end. All right, sparkly birthday wishes. Go ahead and put glue on the back. Okay. Birthday wishes. Oh, I forgot about coloring this. So this is the greenery back there, and I went ahead and colored that with a dauber and evergreen. All right. You also have this little flower center here that we're going to need. So I am going to lay this down. I think maybe it looks like I may have cut it apart. So let's go ahead and we're going to snip it right there. And there, and then looks like that one's coming out of there. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue like that and get it where I want it. And then this one is gonna go in there. Pick it up. There it is. And then that piece is going to go there. So we'll put some foam on the back, maybe a big square. Maybe 2 big squares. It's going to go right there. And then we're gonna put the center. Oh, it looks like I got goo on my flower. Awesome. I have to take him off and put a different one over him. For now, there's the flower center. And I put glossy accents on that. I don't know if I could ever get used to just talking to no one in a room. Feels silly. Okay, so there it is, our last card. So I really look forward to, thanks for sticking with the card class even though we couldn't have it the way we normally do. And hopefully I will see you in April.